Okay, so we are observing the origin and evolution of sex in the algae. This is our second last lecture of this topic. So while going to this, already we are knowing the what are the algae are there. So these are prokaryotic, eukaryotic, then photosynthetic, micro and the macroorganisms, which are unicellular, microscopic and the macroscopic in the nature. From the starting from the green algae, brown algae, red algae, right? So in evolutionary trends we have to consider some points are there, so please remember these points as some fossil records are there. I think you are knowing fossil means that in the ancient period, at the time of development, formation of this planet. So some plants in the Jurassic era, there are some large volcanic activities are there and plants are buried and total vegetation is lost, and after that, due to the volcanic activity, the first living organisms are developed. These are the algae. So they having the certain fossil records are there. So as it shows the some help for the evolutionary study. Evolution means study of the past, or the study of the history is there. So it shows the realization of some algae with that to the protozoa or the fungi species are there. There is a confusion in some this historical study is there and understanding for the algal evolution. So the these colorless euglenoophyceae, they are to be believed to an ancient linkage of the algae is there. We are knowing the Euglenophyta. We are observing this class. Here I have selected some photographs for your observation. So a photograph, it is of having the some suppose Chlamydomonas with two flagella. Then chlorella is there. So it shows the one cell is divided into two by fission B. Then other algal patches are there, right? Then you see the hollow single cell magnified with flagella. Then this photograph, it is of having the generally the hollow colony is there. Then chlorella is there, unicellular, right? Then pediastrum is there, H diagram. Then cladophora is there. You see the magnified portion. Then oscillatoria is there. So how are the green patches and single filament or the trichome is there. Some are the branched, they are showing the cladophora. This is a disc shaped like the O diagram, O photograph. It shows the Acetabularia. It is a marine algae from the green algae. Then these are the some ficus or these others are there. Then you are observing yes photograph. It is of having the this ficus plant is there with antheridia, and the antheridial branches are there. So there are the some advanced. This is a bulbocatty or coleocatty is there, kitty. So like this one. So already we are going to see these divisions in the next lecture. And then in evolution, some scientists consider the red algae, which little resemblance to any other group of organisms, and they are to be supposed as the primitive eukaryotes, which are evolved from the prokaryotic BGA. From the BGA, the red algae are developed. It is as per the scientist based on the support of photosynthetic pigments and the similar starch among the red algae and BGA. Then red algae evolved from the cryptophyceae also due to the loss of flagella or from the fungi by obtaining chloroplast. The green algae classes are evolutionary related, but their origins are unclear. Then cryptophyceae members like the diatoms and others, so they have evolutionary enigma, which have the no fossil record and the phylogenetic data. According to some workers are there, so they have shown that the red algae, because of the both group possess phycobilioproteins in their chloroplast. So therefore red algae are to be supposed originated from this one. Then some green algal classes are also very old. The specific group of algae share the feature with protozoa and the fungi. and that without the presence of chloroplast and the photosynthesis. So these are the some evolutionary characters, just you go through it and remember it. Then what is the meaning of the method of reproduction in the plants? So we are knowing in algae asexual and sexual method. In asexual reproduction, no sex is involved and there is no fission of any kind of gamete, while in the types of reproduction it is mainly affected by the spores formation. So each such spore is capable to develop into a new plant. Already we are knowing in sexual reproduction the two cells or the gametes unite together and form the zygote, and which is result into the new plant. But as the new plants they develop without any fusion. In the primitive, most primitive algae, the members like Mexophyceae or Cyanophyceae. Examples are Glyocapsa, Crucoccus. These are unicellular. They reproduce by means of fusion, where the Oscillatoria, Nostoc, Anabaena, BGA, they reproduce vegetatively. So the cells are due to the presence of Hormogonia. Already we have seen this character, Hormogonia, right? The plants in the specific condition. Then some members of Cyanophyceae reproduce by means of arthrospores. In the BGA, they reproduce asexually, and the sexual reproduction altogether is absent. The unicellular and filamentous forms, they shows there is having the both asexual sexual methods of reproduction gets the prevail. That is the it is to be showing the seen in some members. Then as it is a thought that the probably gametes have been originated from the motile asexual spores or the zoospores, and except in few cases the sexual reproduction has not replaced the asexual method but has been added a supplementary method. The zoospores usually resemble the gametes except their size. For example, in algae such as Chlamydomonas, Elothrix, Cladophora, they shows the zoospores and probably produce the before the gametes formation. So it is also one interesting observation. The in the asexual reproduction, it shows uninucleate and biflagellate zoospores, and by repeated divisions they contain the ordinary acting as a vegetative cell. The zoospores are produced in favorable condition. In adverse condition, the gametes are formed in the vegetative cells that earlier produced the zoospores in favorable conditions. The gametes are quite large, and they shows there is the formation of these microzoospores acting as a gametes. Then there are the certain conditions are there, or according to the some scientists, the zoospores they are similar to like that of the these gametes. So for example, in Urogonium, the gametes and zoospores are quite similar except in their size. Then according to other observations, there are the zoospores generally they shows there is having they can give rise to the new offspring, new plant formation without and the gametes shows the fusion and formation of a zygote. The gametes have been originated from the zoospores by means of reduction. The main part is our there evolution. That's all. The gametes, they were morphologically identical but physiologically different. For example, Elothrix and certain species of Chlamydomonas. If their gametes shape, size and function is same, so it is called as the isogamy, and therefore they are developed in the some forms. For example, Chlamydomonas browni and the Pandorina from the Holoacales, right? Then there are this oogamy is there, so it shows the heterogamy, evolved condition in heterogamy. So all size, shape and structure, these are the different, so it is called as oogamy. Good example in the, for example, as it is less seen in the it is commonly seen in the Polysiphonia, but it is less seen in the Chlamydomonas or Holox and the Odogonia. Then evolution of sex in algae has not taken place in any one phylogenetic line. So therefore it has been taken place along the several independent lines are there. While the different examples like Holwockel's example gonium is the isogamous, Pandorina is anisogamous, Eudorina and Pleodorina they are marked by anisogamy and Holwox is the oogamous. Then Gonium, Pandorina, Eudorina, Pleodina, Hollock series. It is showing the progressive somatic differentiation. Somatic, that is the only vegetative cells, right? And assume the correlated with the evolution of isogamy and oogamy, right? So that one cell is acting as a gamete, so it is called as a somatic gamete. Whereas on the other hand, the genus Holocales, Chlamydomonas, it shows there is the gradations from isogamy to oogamy. Some species are there. Chlamydomonas browni is anisogamous, whereas Chlamydomonas coccifera is the oogamous. There are some examples in the green algae as Spirogyra, Vaucheria, and Cara. They are generally nearly all the brown and red algae. A far more advanced condition has been reached. In Spirogyra, the two uniting gametes are produced inside the ordinary, right? And the gametangi are not differentiated into male and the female structure. Those generally in the some examples are there. The oogonium contains the egg and antheridia contains the anthrozoid. So therefore in Vaucheria the gametes are born in the well differentiated gametangia. In Cara, as we are knowing, the sex organs are not developed all over the plant body but in the confirmed nodes of the branches of limited growth. The male and female sex organs are highly developed specialized organs. And we are knowing the globule and the nucleus is there. So spermatogenous filament develop and they forms a globule developed with the globule and the nucleus consists the egg. So you go through the diagrams of these specific examples. Then in brown algae, fucus and sargassum already we are knowing. So sargassum, so receptacles are there, specialized, so male and female, right? Receptacle and the conceptacles are there. So oogonium in fucus the 8 eggs in the oogonium, whereas in sargassum 7 eggs degenerate and only one is functional. So there is evolution of algae is there. Then in Polysiphonia, the male spermatia which are non-motile, whereas there is the spermatia carried away to the female by means of water current. So fucus is a brown algae, right? Then so many examples are there from the green, brown, and the red algae. And in the conclusion, there having the some response to the some certain circumstances are there. So gametes have been developed from the zoospores by means of reduction, and the isogamy give rise to the oogamy with the anisogamy. So you have to remember isogamy, anisogamy, oogamy. These are three main types are there. Just already we have seen. Okay. So in the next lecture we'll see the remaining part.